Great to see LeBron back, but no. All right, in the preseason, I said this. If you give me the choice of the Lakers or the field in the West, I'm going with the field. But if you force me to pick one team preseason, I would have picked the Lakers. But here's the thing. The field has blossomed into a wonderful rose garden with two beautiful flowers. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I think you know what I mean. And those two beautiful flowers are perfect. Right? The Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns. I mean, those two teams are legit. All right, Phoenix, balanced. They got size. They got athleticism. They got a great floor general. They're well coached. They're athletic. Like everything. They got a score in Booker. And then Golden State, as great as they're already playing, they're getting back Klay Thompson and James Wiseman. So those two teams are the best in the West. I will say this about the Lakers, though. They are not like Denver, Portland, the Clippers without Kawhi, Nick, any of those teams, Dallas, that, you know, have a sexy star or two, but absolutely no hope of getting out of the West. The Lakers do have hope, all right? They're below those two teams I mentioned, but they do have, like, hope just because you got LeBron James and you've got Anthony Davis in his prime. And I would say Russell Westbrook, honestly, has fit in better than expected, especially over the last, couple of weeks. And their problem is defense, Nick. And I don't know how fixable that is because they're old and they're slow and they have trouble staying in front of guys. And offensively, LeBron's shooting too many threes. We'll see if he takes that down. But I give them a little chance because of LeBron and AD. But no, they are not close to being the favorites. It's Phoenix and Golden State.
So you keyed on their biggest issue, which is they have no one to defend the point of attack. Caruso's gone, KCP's gone, Kuzma, for all his warts, he's gone. Like, they got rid of all their wing defenders. So that's been a problem, obviously. However, I think something very funny, dare I even say fishy, has been going on with the Lakers' perception.
Goodness.
And it is wild's this. At the beginning of the year, people were not concerned enough. I started sounding the alarm after game 1, even though they were my pick to win the title. And now I feel like the concern has gone too far to, they can't compete with the Suns and Warriors. Right now, they don't deserve to be considered the favorite. But I do think they deserve to be considered the biggest threat to Phoenix, bigger than even Golden State.
Ooh,
because I feel like we know, if LeBron's out there, we know what we're getting from him. And we know what the best version of Anthony Davis looks like. The question is, can he tap back into it? The biggest issue for the Lakers thus far this season has been two things, both of which might be fixed. One was LeBron's lack of availability. Well, he was going to miss 10 days with COVID thing. We find out it's reportedly a false positive, so now he's back today. And the other is Vogel's insistence on coaching with his eyes closed and playing these massive lineups, most notably DeAndre Jordan, who Steve Nash, who no one has ever accused of being a brilliant coach, he figured out you can't play DeAndre Jordan 6 months ago. And Vogel, the reports are as of yesterday, they're going to Dwight and they're only going to play one center. That will fix a lot and give the Lakers time to figure out what their other best lineups are with DJ on the bench. I still think if we got a Warriors-Lakers matchup in round 2, I like the Lakers. I do not think the Warriors have an answer for Anthony Davis, and I do not think the Warriors have an answer for LeBron James. And while Russ has his warts, obviously, he's exhausting to deal with. And so now, can I sit here with a straight face and say right now I think the Lakers are better than the Suns? I cannot. But we are seeing the best of the Suns right now, and we have seen the worst of the Lakers. So I feel like right now you'd be kind of judging them through warped glasses. So are they the team to beat? No, that should be Phoenix. Do I think they present a bigger problem for Phoenix than Golden State? Yes, I do.
Okay, so here's my question, and I'll ask Broussard. When you talk about the Warriors and the Suns, and then we're like, maybe the Lakers should be in the mix, which one of these categories that I'm going to rattle off would you say, you know what? Advantage Lakers. Offense. No, Lakers are 23rd in offense. Defense. No, even though they hung their hat on defense, they are 15th in defense. Roster construction. No, I give that to Suns Warriors. Chemistry. Just overall feel of the team. Nope, still Suns and Warriors. How about coaching? Vogel, Monty Williams, Steve Kerr. No. How about just general vibe of the team? How about just like momentum and sort of attitude? Nope, I would still give that to Warriors and Suns. So I'm out here trying to find a reason. And Nick, you laid it out fine. But when you look at the big categories of what makes a championship team, I can't give a check mark next to the Lakers on any of them. Broussard, do you see something that I am missing? Because I just see that Warriors and the Suns are better at the Lakers at everything.
I see something gigantic that you are missing. And as Nick said, if the Lakers are at their best, and you know what it is? Whether they play Phoenix or Golden State, 2 of the 3 best players play for the Lakers. That's huge in basketball.
Yes.
Only 5 are out there. 2 of the 3, if the Lakers are at their best, if Anthony Davis gets back to what he was 2 years ago, if LeBron James, look, LeBron obviously is still great. But, Nick, this is my concern with LeBron. Obviously, he's putting up big numbers still, but he doesn't dominate and control games consistently the way he always has. All right, the numbers look great, but he's not controlling the action.
Right.
Now, is that age, injury? I think it's more that. But could it be that he's not on the ball like he used to be? Right? He's not dominating the basketball where he can control the tempo for both teams and all of that like he used to be. So I'm not sure if that's it or not. But even though he puts up, he'll have a 27-point game. He's not dominating the way he used. I think part of it, too, is he's shooting too many threes. He's 11th in the league in threes attempted. He needs to cut that down.
The other night when we were talking about the Bucks game, I think it was Bucks-Nets. I don't quite remember what it was, but I said there was no point where I was worried the Bucks were going to lose because it just felt like, no, Giannis is not going to let his team lose that game. Yep. That's the mode LeBron had been in for a decade at his best. He hasn't looked like that. And by the way, he didn't look like the post-injury last year. He never looked like that again. The reason I have a faith and a belief he still has that gear is because he looked like that the entire championship run. And while that was 2 seasons ago, it was 13 months ago. Or 14 months ago. It was not so long ago that I think he can't still get there. And what I do know is this. If the Lakers play the Warriors in a series, it's not just that the Warriors have no answer for Anthony Davis' size, but I do think LeBron has a psychological edge over Golden State without Kevin Durant. And if the Lakers play the Suns in a series, I do know that last year it was different teams. I get that. They played in a series, and until AD got hurt, the Lakers were up 2-1. Lakers were up 2-1 and looked to be in control of the series. And then AD got hurt, and the thing goes sideways. Like that, and the Suns ended up mopping them up the final 3 games of the series. So again, the Lakers have a lot of work to do, but I think people were a little too high on them after the first week of the season and way too low on them right now. Because the other thing is, Broussard, there's only 3 teams in the West really ahead of them in the standings. It's Golden State, Phoenix, obviously, and Utah. Everyone else is around the same record.
Well, 2 things quickly, Nick. One, the Suns are much better than last year. And I know they were great last year. They're much better. Okay, that's number 1. So that's not going to be the team that the Lakers faced last year in the first round. And 2, I don't see how in the world you say that LeBron has a psychological edge over Golden State? How? I get it, KD's not there, but they did beat LeBron without KD in 2015. So I don't buy into this psychological edge that LeBron has over the Warriors at all. I'm not saying they have a psychological edge over him, but it doesn't go the other way either.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.